Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys anime episode review. This time I'm talking about episode 76, so let's get to it. Episode 76 begins in Ceres Park. Goh is on his phone. He is looking through his Pokemon collection. He is trying to choose the right Pokemon for something. Now it is worth noting that Goh's Pidgeotto is not featured here. Pidgeotto should be between Pidgey and Rattata, but is not shown on the screen. Eternatus is also missing. This is most likely a mistake. Or they forgot, meaning that not even the studio can keep track of all the Pokemon that Goh has caught so far. Ash then appears and he wonders what Goh is doing. Goh says that he is trying to choose what Pokemon he will use in a race that he wants to enter. He wants to enter the Pokemon Catching Adventure race, which is a race where you catch Pokemon while hiking up a mountain, which takes place in the Alola region. Goh says that this is the perfect chance to catch more Pokemon from Alola, while Ash says that this race is perfect for Goh. Goh then says that it's a team race, so he wants to team up with Ash so that they can participate together. Ash accepts, and so Ash and Goh travel to the Alola region and they go to the uninhabited island where the race will take place. Ash and Goh register for the race, and then two boys run very fast towards Ash and Goh. The boys soon stop so that they can greet Ash. They both say in unison, "You are Mr. Ash, the first champion of the Alola Pokemon League, aren't you?" Ash and Goh are both confused for different reasons. The two boys then take pictures with Ash and they shake hands with Ash as well. Goh wonders what's going on, so Ash explains that there was a tournament in Alola which he ended up winning. Goh is amazed and surprised, and he wonders why Ash never mentioned this. Ash says, "Oh, I didn't? No, Ash, you did not mention this." It is nice that Ash finally gets the recognition he deserves for being a champion. Ash is treated like a celebrity here, which is cool. After years of losing at every Pokemon League, Ash finally won at the Alola League, and yet, it never felt like he was a champion because the Sun and Moon series ended soon after his victory, and so we never really got to see Ash bask in the glory of being a champion, so it is great that he is finally recognized and respected for his achievement. After admiring the pictures that they took with Ash, the two boys wonder if Ash will be participating in the race. Ash says that he is joining with Goh, who introduces himself. The two boys introduce themselves as well. They are known as the Full Power Brothers and their names are Sen and Ryoku. They then say that they will defeat Champion Ash with some real power. After saying this, the brothers run away, leaving Ash and Goh dumbfounded. So, everyone gets ready to begin the race, but before it starts, the announcer explains what the rules are. Participants will have to pass through several checkpoints as they make their way to the finish line. However, they can only pass through each checkpoint if they complete a specific task at each checkpoint, which is to catch a specific Pokemon in the area. Trainers will take part in the race as a team of 2, and each trainer can use up to 3 Pokemon to help them throughout the race. However, flying Pokemon are not allowed since they would make the race too easy. But other than this, Pokemon can do pretty much anything else during the race. At this point I thought, man, I hope that Ash uses some of his Pokemon during the race so that we can see them in action. The announcer then says that the winners of the race will get a year's supply of Malasada donuts and a trophy as well. So all the teams get ready to start the race and the race begins. For the first part of the race, everyone runs towards the first checkpoint with the Full Power Brothers in the lead. Everyone soon reaches the first checkpoint, which is on top of a mountain. Ash and Goh realize that they can't reach the checkpoint on foot, so Goh sends out his Boldor, who carries everyone to the top. Now I have to say that Boldor goes from being small and normal sized to being way too big. They probably made Boldor bigger here so that it could carry everyone realistically. But it still looks out of place because Boldor are not so big. Boldor's height is 2 feet 11 inches according to the Pokédex. If you take a look at Ash and his Boldor for comparison, you can see that Boldor is smaller than Ash. Goh's Boldor itself looks significantly smaller in previous episodes and in this very episode, so they definitely supersized Boldor in this scene. While Ash and Goh make their way to the checkpoint with Boldor's help, Team Rocket peek out of some nearby bushes. they are planning to steal Pikachu while Ash and Goh are busy with the race. They also want to take whatever Alolan Pokemon Ash and Goh managed to catch as part of the race. The mention of Alola here makes James wonder how Mareanie is doing. Meowth mentions that there's also Mimikyu to think about, and Jessie says that they should go check in on them once they complete their current operation of catching Pikachu. James agrees, and so they all focus on the task at hand. Meanwhile, Ash and Goh get close to the checkpoint. Goh then receives a message on his phone which tells him what Pokemon he and Ash must catch to pass the checkpoint. They need to catch an Alolan Geodude. I do want to point out that boulder does look smaller here, much closer to the actual size of a boulder, so I guess that someone realized that there was a size discrepancy. So they fixed it from the previous scene, or maybe the previous scene was just a unique mistake. So Ash and Goh search for an Alolan Geodude alongside Pikachu and Grookey. Now I love how Grookey searches for Geodude by smacking rocks with its stick. Eventually, Grookey does end up finding a Geodude. Goh proceeds to catch the Geodude, which allows Ash and Goh to clear the first checkpoint. Now Goh does have a normal Geodude as well, so he is not really getting closer to catching every Pokemon by catching another Geodude, even if this second Geodude is of a different regional form. The Full Power Brothers also complete the first task, and they go on ahead, leaving Ash and Goh behind. The race continues with the brothers in the lead, with Ash and Goh in second place. The brothers are soon stopped by a massive boulder that blocks the narrow mountain road. Ryoku tries to push the rock out of the way with his bare hands, which of course does not work. I don't know why he would even try to push such a massive boulder, because he obviously won't succeed, but hey, props to him for trying. I guess that he thinks that he can push boulders using strength just like Pokemon can. Sen tells Ryoku that he should not worry because they have a secret plan for situations like this. And this secret plan is to use a C move. So the brothers perform the poses required to activate the C move in unison. Even though only Sen has a C ring, so he is the only one that should be doing the poses. But I guess that Ryoku wants to feel like he is also helping, or the brothers are always united in everything they do. Or maybe it's just fun to perform the poses. The C move is successfully activated, and their Kommo fires off his exclusive C move, Clangorous Soul Blaze. However, the move ends up failing, and the boulder only shakes a little, and it rolls towards the brothers, which leads to an Indiana Jones situation. Ash and Goh, who are right behind the brothers, also end up running from the boulder. But fittingly, Goh's boulder uses Headbutt to send the boulder flying. The boulder ends up flying towards Team Rocket, who end up abandoning their hiding spot so that they can run from the boulder. This includes running down the side of the mountain, which is hilarious to say the least. Meanwhile, the Full Power Brothers are exhausted from the ordeal that they just went through, but they quickly recover and they keep going, leaving Ash and Goh behind once again. Goh then wonders if Ash can use C moves as well, and Ash says that yes, he can, but not right now because he does not have his C ring. Goh is clearly disappointed because he apparently hoped that Ash could use C moves to help during the race. The announcer soon informs everyone that only 5 teams had managed to complete the first task, and that the second checkpoint is behind a lake. Ash and Goh reach said checkpoint, and Goh receives the next task on his phone. The second task is to catch a Brooksish. Goh wonders if the Brooksish are in the lake, and Ash says that he can't tell. Now, considering that Brooksish is a fish, I think that it would be safe to assume that yes, they are in the lake, especially considering that the checkpoint is right behind said lake. So Ash has an idea. He sends out Lucario, hoping that Lucario can find a Brooksish using Aura, and Lucario does manage to find a Brooksish this way. I did want to see Ash use his Pokemon during the race, so I am glad that he does use Lucario, even though this is probably not what most of us would like to see Lucario do. Though I do admit that it is a pretty cool use of Lucario. Goh sends out Pyukumuku in order to battle Brooksish. Brooksish tries to use Bite or Crunch to attack, but Pyukumuku literally does not care. It just takes the hit and it punches Brooksish in return. Pikachu then uses Electro Web, but Brooksish uses Aqua Tail to break the Electro Web. Pyukumuku then uses Toxic, which poisons Brooksish, and Goh is able to successfully catch the poisoned Brooksish. Now I love how Pyukumuku carries the Pokeball out of the water. It's so adorable. The Full Power brothers soon show up and they congratulate Ash and Goh for completing the second task. The brothers then try to complete the second task themselves by using their C move once again. And once again, the move fails, and not only does it fail, but it also misses, so Brooksish gets away. The brothers get depressed because they failed even with their C move, but Ash tells them that what they used was not a C move. Sen is confused because he has his C-ring and they did the poses and everything, but Ash explains that having a C-ring does not mean that you can use a C move whenever you want. The brothers turn red from embarrassment because they messed up C moves in front of their hero, the champion of Alola. Ash then says that the brothers are not in sync with Kommo-o and that you can only use C moves in specific moments during heated battles when you refuse to back down. It's in these moments that you can become one with your Pokemon. Now this is the normal version of what Ash says, since most of his explanation is the classic Ash explanation with sound effects and hand motions and the like. Goh wonders if the brothers really understand what Ash said, and it turns out that they do understand, and they say thank you to Ash for the advice. So Ash and Goh move on to the next checkpoint while the brothers stay behind to catch a Brooksish. The announcer then mentions that only 4 teams managed to complete the second task, and the race now approaches its climax. Meanwhile, Team Rocket peek out of the water. It turns out that they were waiting to ambush Ash and Goh, but they say that no one showed up even though Ash and Goh did approach the lake. It turns out that Team Rocket were waiting in the wrong lake. Also, they don't seem to have any scuba gear on, so I do wonder how they were able to stay under the water for so long. So Ash and Goh reach the final checkpoint, which is in a forest, and the final task is to catch a Passimian. Pikachu passes a berry to Ash. Goh wonders what Ash will do with the berry, and Ash says that Passimian love to play catch, so they start passing the berry around. Ash knows this because of episode 64 of the Sun and Moon series, so it's nice that he remembers his earlier encounter with Passimian. And Pikachu clearly remembers too, which is nice as well. Two Passimians soon show up, so Goh passes the berry to Grookey so that Grookey can bait the Passimian. The Passimian take the bait and they start playing catch with Grookey. Pikachu soon joins in on the fun, but Team Rocket uses a net to capture Pikachu, Grookey, and the 2 Passimian. Now it is unusual that when Team Rocket reveal themselves, they simply say that they will catch all the Pokemon here, and they call for their gacha machine instead of reciting their motto first as usual. From the gacha machine, Team Rocket get a Bioplume and a Tropius. It's interesting that a Tropius was shown earlier in the episode when the announcer said that you can't use flying Pokemon for the race. Bioplume uses Sleep Powder to put all the Pokemon to sleep except for Grookey, who is unaffected. This is because Grass-type Pokemon are immune to Spore and Powder moves. This is the first time that this immunity has been shown in the anime. So Tropius gives Grookey a banana instead so that Grookey settles down, and it works. The Full Power brothers soon show up and they wonder what's going on, so Ash and Goh explain the situation. Team Rocket then leave on their balloon and they take the Pokemon they stole. Now I love how Grookey is just eating the banana without a care in the world, even though Grookey just got taken by Team Rocket. Ash and Goh get ready to stop Team Rocket, but the brothers say that they will take care of this since they are fired up because they want to defeat the bad guys. So Sen sends out Kommo-o, and just like before, the brothers and Kommo-o do their C move poses in order to use Clangorous Soul Blaze, but this time the move does work and Team Rocket blasts off again as a result. The net that they were carrying is detached and Kommo-o recovers the stolen Pokemon. I love how Grookey is like, oh my bad, sorry about that. Now Jesse and James did not withdraw Tropius and Bioplume before boarding their balloon. But Tropius does fly alongside the balloon with Bioplume on its back, so they were not left behind. However, when Team Rocket blasts off, Tropius and Bioplume are not seen, so I guess that they blasted off in another direction, or maybe they were not hit by the second wave of the C-move, meaning that they did not blast off at all. In any case, they end up separating from Team Rocket, which is odd. I guess that Bioplume and Tropius are now free. Ash and Goh congratulate the brothers for successfully pulling off their C-move, and the brothers rejoice because they were praised by the champion. However, they all get their head back in the game since the race is still underway, so Goh catches a Passimian and the brothers catch one as well. Both teams then run towards the finish line as fast as possible. Ryoku and Goh pass the finish line first. Ryoku beats Goh by a small margin. Ash and Sen pass the finish line next, but Ash beats Sen by a small margin, so Ash and Goh are the winners. However, the prize for winning is split in two, since Ash and Goh get the trophy, while the Full Power brothers get the year's supply of Malasada donuts. The brothers are rewarded for protecting the race and for the entertainment they provided throughout the race. It's nice that the brothers are rewarded as well, but splitting the prize that was meant for the winning team does lessen the impact of victory. The episode then cuts to Team Rocket, who land in the hot spring that is near Bewear's home. Here, Mareanie greets James in slow motion, which is pretty funny. Mimikyu is also floating around, and Jessie happily greets Mimikyu. Bewear and Stufful then show up, and Bewear gives everyone a big bear hug. This is what I wanted to see the most in this episode, and while it is unfortunately short-lived, it is still nonetheless a great moment. I am glad that Team Rocket get to reunite with their old Pokemon for once, and with Pokemon that they lived with. Also, this is the first time that Team Rocket reunite with Pokemon that they released. The episode then cuts back to Ash and Goh, who thank the brothers for the race and for their help. The brothers thank Ash for his advice, and they say that they will keep training with the hopes of one day challenging Ash the champion to a battle. Ash says that he looks forward to this, and the brothers leave. Ash then gets a notification on his Rotom phone. An official Hyperclass battle has been scheduled, and it will take place in a week. Goh notes that it's interesting that in the Hyperclass, battles are scheduled in advance. I guess that this is due to the fact that the Hyperclass is more exclusive, since there are fewer trainers in it, so the matches here are much more significant. And who's Ash's next opponent? Well, Bogner, which is not surprising of course, since we have been anticipating this battle for a good while now. What is surprising is that Bogner's rank is 27, which is impressive. Bogner is one of the top 30 strongest trainers in the world, so he has definitely been busy in the time that we have not seen him, and he is not playing around. Now it is odd that Ash says Bogner, and Bogner's picture is on screen, so yes Ash, is that Bogner, the one and only Bogner that you know. I absolutely can't wait to see this battle, which is sure to be amazing, but that's the episode. So overall, this was a fun and enjoyable episode. I think that the race was pretty creative and entertaining. I think that it would be a fun thing to do in the games if it was added as a mini game or as a side activity. Ash finally got the recognition and respect that he deserves for being a champion, which is great, and hopefully it happens again in the future. It was also nice to see Team Rocket's reunion with Bewear, Mareanie, Mimikyu, and Stufful. Now I do think that this episode was just one big excuse to set up Ash's battle with Bogner so that they can save time in the next episode. And so that Ash gets the idea to use C-moves for his battle against Bogner. Which is fine I guess, since it means that episode 77 will be that much better. But that's the video. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.